Assalamualaikum and very good evening. Today, my group 1, want to discuss about is it difficult to apply zero waste in Malaysia. First of all, can we take a minute to introduce ourselves? First, my name is Isyrafuddin. My matrix number is 08018. Let's proceed with Nisa.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Rayhanunisa Hubbillah and my matrix number is 208687 and I'm passing this to Attiqah.
Okay, my name is Attiqah bint Abdurrahim. My matrix number is 208323 and I pass on Zhang Jincheng.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Jincheng. My matrix number is 204912. I'm from Faculty of Science in Statistics.
Hello everyone, I'm Liang Xiao and my matric number is 204914. I'm from the Faculty of Science and my major is in statistics.
Okay, before we start, I want to explain what is zero waste. Zero waste is a set of simple focus on waste prevention, which is the main purpose of zero waste is to maintain no trash to be sent to landfills, incinerators, and or the ocean. So, in a zero waste system, the material will be reused and until the optimal level of the consumption. So, my opinion for the is it difficult to apply zero waste lifestyles in Malaysia? Yeah, I think it's difficult because for me, zero waste is impossible. First and foremost, due to the second law of thermodynamics, which state that the quality of energy degrades as it is used. So the most annoying part is to have a zero waste lifestyle is so time consuming and so expensive. For example, I give you one example. For my point that zero waste lifestyle is so expensive is because when we go grocery shopping, when we go to the shopping mall, let's say we want to buy a coffee which a coffee that in the plastic packaging is cheaper than the in the glass packaging. So the price range uh, at the the price range for the coffee in plastic packaging and glass packaging is too wide, and yeah, I think family in low budget can apply this lifestyle in their daily life. What do you think, Zhang Jincheng?
As we all know, Malaysia is not a big country with a population of only 30 million. So I think zero waste is very easy to popularize among the people.
So my thoughts toward this issue is I agree with Ishraf. I stand for 4. It is difficult to apply the lifestyle of zero waste in Malaysia because it's kind of expensive. The cost is expensive. Like not all the people can afford the toothbrush from the bamboo and also the pads, the organic pads, because as long as I know, the zero waste is not just about the plastic bag in supermarket, but also about the packaging in supermarket. Maybe Malaysia have banned the plastic in supermarket every Saturday, but it's just not enough, and it's just not enough because supermarket still selling it with a cheap price, of course, like just 20 cents. But the packaging in supermarket is still based on plastic. That's why I think it is difficult because we usually use plastic as our packaging from our food. Yes, I think that's all. What's your thoughts, Attiqah?
I agree with Ishraf and Rayhanunisa because in my opinion, it is really hard to practice zero waste products in Malaysia. We know that we will spend more time to make a zero waste product. Zero waste product is basically implies DIY, and we need a time to find a few shops to find some things to buy for making a zero waste product. So I think if the DIY products actually easier to make, but it still consume time, so we need to spend time to make a zero waste product. So what's your view on this, Liang Xiao?
Actually, I agree completely about the zero waste lifestyle is difficult to participate, and and I have to against the opinion of the Zhang Jincheng, because with a population of only 30 million, Malaysia is vast and sparsely populated, and a phenomenon that limits the perception of resource conservation, and people may not care about the waste of resources.
You've got a point here, but I'm afraid I still disagree with you. Because with the development of time, people's level of education is getting higher and higher, and people's quality has also been improved. They will choose to face the problem of their waste and find ways to achieve it. As B. Joe said, our life should be based on life's experience rather than material enjoyment, and we should face change bravely rather than avoiding it passively. And the also existence of no plastic bag days compare every Saturday, which help people to get used to not being fixated on plastic when shopping and starting to use cloth bags, and it can be used over and over again.
And as far as I'm concerned, I think there's a lot of problem with the difficult to solve, because both of we know that Malaysia is has a limit in resource for zero waste industry, because it's a country with tourism as the mainstay of its economic. So there's a large population movement, as well as a significant portion of foreign workers, and the quality of the population varies. So I think it's difficult to manage it effectively.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's really difficult because for some family in Malaysia, their place doesn't have bulk store, so they don't have any zero waste product in their places lah. So they don't use the zero waste product because doesn't have the bulk stores. Especially in other case, a family that have a huge household, they will buy a lot of groceries, so they will need plastic bags, a lot of plastic bags. So they really need plastic bags. They cannot avoid the zero waste product lah.
Okay, from my opinion again, from the article that I've read in vulcanpost.com, like there is some zero waste store, but it isn't enough. Like because basically the location of zero waste store in Malaysia is not spread much in other parts of the region, other than Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, and living the other states with only one or two in theirs. This make it difficult for people to contribute to implementing the zero waste, since the zero waste store is not spread much in Malaysia. What's your thoughts, Ishraf?
I agree with you, but I may have a point that it's not too difficult, it's not too easy to apply, you know, estimation because of there is many recycle center in Malaysia. So that we can use the recycle campaign that teach us to having a zero lifestyle. The 3Rs, you know what is 3R campaign, right? Use, reduce, and recycle. The campaign is applicable and teach to our younger generation since primary school. So it is easier for us to apply it in order to get the zero lifestyle. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Can I say something here? Uh, I see what you mean, but in my opinion, the zero waste is a long-term vision. With the time passed by, its surviving society exists within nature's resource constraints and ability to assimilate waste, and the presence of a community of nature lovers in Malaysia can educate more people to implement the zero waste movement in Malaysia. And the more people who are educated about this, the more people will implement a zero waste lifestyle. I think
Sure,
it
I think
can be
there's
achieved
a
to
large.
at
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to say, if the government wants to implement the relevant policy, and is required to make an industry trend from a closed cycle, and there's an adequate initial investment, I think. And the government requires to set up an independent department and implement relevant laws to regulate, which involves complicated personnel mobilization and resource coordination.
Basically, zero waste product is not it's difficult, but it's come along with a lot of benefits. So I think Zhang Jincheng has a point, but I stand with for, as it is really difficult to do in Malaysia. So what's your stand, Rayhanunisa?
Well, I still stand for 4 until now. What's your thoughts, Isha?
I will go with 4 because of if we have to educate people in Asia to have a zero lifestyle, it may take a longer time, and I think it's not worth it because the time is too precious, and uh, in order to have a zero lifestyle, it's so expensive, which is not worth it too. And I will go for I will go for it's difficult to have zero waste lifestyle.
Also, when the Zhang Jincheng said there's many communities that could give some education to people, even if they're educated with this case, doesn't mean that they can implementing that in the real life, because if they can't afford the zero waste stuff, I think it will not go well. It'll still be difficult. What's your thoughts, Liang Xiao? Or any thoughts of you guys?
How about the implement? Actually, I think we can only focus on the situation and say, oh, it's too easy to solve this problem, such as if we want to implement the zero waste style, and we how could we do? We need to teaching the children from the early. All right, and how about others? Actually, and for the implementation of projects in specific states, and need a long period of communication and construction work. So it's not easy.
So I think we will come up with the conclusion because four of us is agree and one of us is disagree. So to summarize, I think zero waste products is really difficult to implement in Malaysia because there is a lot of things we need to face to before we use the zero waste product. Yeah, anyone want to add?
Yeah, maybe it is difficult, but it doesn't mean that we cannot do this. So we can do this, but slowly, like really slow, but we can. And that's all.
Anyone want to say something? Or we just end our meeting here? Okay. So that's it, our meeting discussion. So hope we will discuss about another topic later. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you
Right,
all.
thank you everyone. Okay.
Thank you, Timo.